Hi, it's Wendy at the library. I'm going to show you how to make really cool finger spinners today. You'll be getting a kit if you register, and all that is included in your kit is a paper cup and a toothpick. It's a pretty thick paper cup. It is plain, which is great because one that I made had designs on it. It was hard to decorate. So I'm going to turn my camera down and let you see the one that I've already made, and then I'll show you how to do it. So this is my finger spinner, and it's pretty cool. And I don't know if you can see in the background, this cup already had designs on it, and I used Sharpie markers to decorate. I did another one on a white cup. It's not dry yet. I put a little dab of glue where my toothpick is so that it will hold it. But this was great because I did use some Sharpies, but crayons color really well. They show up really well on these, so you can make them as bright and colorful designs if you want. So that's the one that I did today with a white cup. So I'm going to show you how to do this. When you're at home, just take a pencil and draw a line as straight as you can, straight across the middle. We want a really straight line. You can barely see it. There's a little bit of wax on this cup so it doesn't show. I'm going to turn it and go straight across the other way. And this little X now will show you where the middle of your cup is, which that's important later on because we'll put the toothpick there. So that's divided into 4 sections. I'm going to do it one more time straight down the middle of those to divide it into 8 sections. And it's not perfect, but they're pretty close to equal sizes. There we go. So I like the design in the middle. I like using a Sharpie. If you have a Sharpie, you can make your lines with it. But what's most important is wherever these lines end up on the outer perimeter of the circle is also where you're going to be cutting down. So I'm going to make a dot where the lines come out to the edges, just onto my cup. So I know where to take my scissors, and I'm going to be cutting down. Now these cups do have a little bit of wax on them. So pencil is not drawing very well on it. I just need a straight edge, so I folded a piece of paper, and from that dot, and I would lean this against it and go down. My pencil did not show up well. I'll show you what happens when I just go down. It really doesn't show up, it dents it a little bit. So I went ahead, I did use a Sharpie. If you have even a gel pen, I think a pen would work better than a pencil. These are a little bit waxed, so it just doesn't want to go on. So I hold it from the dot, and I hold it against the cup, and I just go down. There's one. So I'll go around and do all 8. Oh, this one is on a seam. That one might be hard for me to cut. If you notice that seam where the cup is overlaid, that's a double thickness, but I'll get it. I will cut it. There we go. I'm going to go around all 8 places. If you have a ruler is nice and firm and it will hold straight too. I just didn't have my ruler handy, so I folded a piece of paper. And as long as I have a straight up and down line, it's working pretty good for me. That's called improvising. If you don't have something handy, what's the next best thing? So now on these lines, I'm going to go ahead and cut. I'm going to do this hard one first and see if I can get right through it. Ooh, it is hard. So that's something to know for yours. It's when it's doubled like that, it's a little bit harder to even cut up through it. So, but I'm doing it right up to the top. If you'll notice, the base of the cup is indented, so you can probably cut right up to that part, and that's as far as we want to go anyway. So I'm using small scissors, so it takes me a couple seconds to cut this, but all's good. There we go, and I'll go up this one. Well, this one's a little skinnier. You know what happened on my other one too? They weren't all perfect, and it still works. So some of them were a little wider than others. Maybe the angle of the line that I drew downward, I didn't go straight on a couple, but it's okay. And then one more. There we go. Now, once I've cut all the way up, this one might need a little bit more. This was the thick one. Okay, once I've cut all the way up, we're going to take these and fold it up, almost like a fin or of a fan, you know, and you can see that it went to that level and then goes up. So that's pretty good. Well, please turn them all up. There we go. And if some stick up higher than others later on, you can adjust it. But for right now, it's really good. It's going to show us the design of our finger spinner. That's great. Last one. There we go. And I can put it on the floor. I did like to cut mine to a point. I'm not sure how it would do. You can leave those little folded over edges on if you want to, or cut them off. I like to cut them off. I don't know why. It looked more striking, almost like ninja stars. So go ahead. I'm going to just cut these tips off. Well, that was a skinny one. Some are a little wider than others, but it'll work. There we go. Last one. There we go. Push that aside. There, now it's time to decorate, design however you would like. If you want to draw over those lines, you can, and then just color in. I'm going to go ahead and draw over them. But like I said, it's a little waxy, so you'll need a Sharpie. If you don't have a Sharpie, then I would grab a crayon, because the crayons have been working pretty well for me on these. I tend to go the same shape as my fins that are sticking out, those little triangles. But you don't have to. You can do stripes, you can do polka dots, I don't know, draw eyes on them, like the eyes are spinning around looking at you. I don't know. Design it however you would like. Whoops, that was backwards. So we'll do some circles here. Maybe even switch up and do a different color now. See if that even matters once you spin it. It's cool to see what the designs will do when you're spinning, if you'll catch that it goes blue then red or not. There's only 3 blues, so I'm going to do another one. So there's 4 and 4. And then we can do a bottom of green. So if you have a Sharpie after you do your coloring or whatever, you don't even have to design it. You can leave it plain. But if you have a Sharpie, later on, if you make marks underneath, it would show up and make it pop out a little bit more, I think. There we go. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Now the next part in this is to put our toothpick through. So now you can tell where the center dot is. If it looks a little uneven, I think this side's a little bit smaller. I will try to put it right at the bottom of the intersection instead of right in the middle, because it's a little bit more this way. But even when it's off a little bit, it still spins great. So if I make a mistake, I'm not too worried. But this is a little bit harder. It's a pointy object, so be very careful. I'm going to take this in on the spot where I want to make my dot. Hold it. I can even push it while it's on the table. There's a little bit of a bump, not much. But now I can see where I want to do my hole. So I'm going to put my point there and put a finger on each side, not on top of where it's going to come through, but just right on each side of it. And then I'm going to push it gently, a little bit, but firm. There, just so that it just goes through. What we're going to end up wanting to do is have it through about 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch. So eventually we'll have it through a little bit more. I'm going to push it very slowly to make it that length. There we go. So it's on the regular thickness of the toothpick. And then when I want to, it will spin. It's pretty snug right now, but as you use it, ooh, look at the lines in the middle. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to put you more directly on top of it. Hold on. And when I spin, look at the lines in the middle. It's kind of cool. You can hear some of them drag a little bit more. You can pick them up. But what I would suggest to do is when you're at home, after you're done, if you can find some sort of glue, just put a drop of glue around it on the top, so like this. See where that little bit of glue is? It could be Elmer's glue, it could be tacky glue, but then once you glue it, you are going to have to leave it maybe till tomorrow to make sure it's dry. But then you can use it over and over and over because this glue is already dried in here. Oh, I put it on this side. You can see the glue down in there. It's already dry, so I could just play with this over and over and over. So it's worth gluing so that it doesn't get loose and stop spinning on you. But it's pretty cool. I thought it was a fun item to make. I hope you enjoy it too. It's look on our calendar for more activities and take and make kits, and hope to see you around the library soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.